already knew we wasn't gonna be able to trust Haley, girl, from rip. My luxury lady girlfriend away, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I'm coming to you all with a review of Starz Network's P-Valley. This is season 2, episode 4. The name of this episode is called Demethrius. Now, before I get into the review, y'all, make sure you like this video and make sure you subscribe because it helps me on the YouTube algorithm. Now, you know how I keep it nice and short and sweet. Let's just hop right into this review. So, girl, we are right up into the pink, and you know, Whisper and Roulette are going off. They throwing money, and we have the lady who had, you know, used her whole divorce check in the paint, girl, and she in there going off, okay? And it's Percocet, Molly Percocet. Them girls is in there living, them girls is in there giving it up, and they are spending the check, period. We see money all on the floor, a sea of money, girl. We see Whisper come up to the girl. She's looking at her all seductive like she always do, and she's having a private dance by Toy, and in the process of the private dance, Toy takes off one of the girls' masks. She takes off another mask. And mind you, the woman's enjoying it. The woman is thoroughly enjoying this dance. You feel what I'm saying? And she just has a stack of money just throwing it off. And if you've ever been to the strip club, we all know that women are more friendlier and more giving than the men are when throwing money. You know, men make you work for it. Women, we just appreciate, you know what I'm saying? We gonna blow a bag. So she's in there, she's having a private dance. She take off one mask and then she takes off another mask, and out of nowhere, Toy just sneezes on her, and it's a slow motion sneeze. So you get to see all those particles going off into the space and into that girl's mouth, and she flips. So she goes off and she's like, she grabs the microphone. She's like, she sneezed on me. Where my gloves at? Where's my? She gets on the microphone. I am the health inspector, and the pink is officially closed down. Get your and go home. And that's how the episode kicks off. Uncle Clifford is like, well, what you finna do? She's like, well, you better get it together in 24 hours or this place will be closed down for real, for real. And then, you know, down in the valley where the girls get naked. You feel what I'm saying? We got the intro. Next we have the health inspector and the girls in the dressing room. Uncle Clifford is pretty much explaining, like, girl, how we gonna get this running into, you know, 50% occupancy or whatever the case may be. She like, you need the HEPA filters, you need plastic, you need sanitizer. We supposed to do all this by 24 hours. How are we supposed to do that? And you know, it's a fine of $25,000. And she and him, Uncle Clifford's like, how we gonna get that? And we don't got that in my purse. The lady's like, you better sell that Birkin. And then Uncle Clifford remembers, I'm like, ain't you the one that came in here and got all pissy drunk when you were sleeping with your husband's mama? And she, you know, she was like, well, I'll put it down to 11, but that's the best that I can do. We have Brazil, the stripper Brazil gets into it with Roulette and was like, well, you know, we might be able to come up with something because I heard that you have alternative, you know, multiple streams of income, hinting at the fact that Roulette is a hoe. And just as a little, you know, stripper nug or, you know, stripper gem, strippers don't like when girls are tricking in the club because one, it makes the customer pool different, and it makes them, the other girls who aren't doing that, it makes them, the guys think that they're all like that when they're not. And then two, it just dampens the pool. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to be on the up and up, especially when you're working in the sex industry in that situation. But Brazil and her get into it because she was like, yeah, I heard somebody came in here looking for DSL. Roulette pounds her bow and they get the going. Roulette is angry and she has a lot of anger in her. She beats Brazil up, girl. They catch it on, you know, Instagram Live. Uncle Clifford's like, get that, this ain't the Real Housewives, house strippers of Chicalisa. And Roulette is ushered out by Big L. They go into the office. L has this exchange with Roulette and she's like, he's basically saying, why are you so angry? You know, how'd you know about those wrestling moves? And he was like, she was like, my brother. And he asked about the brother. She said, what is this, some therapy session? You know, you gonna fire me or not? He was like, ain't nobody firing you. And he was just like, well, from the sound of what's going on around here, the way you got up out that car the other day, maybe Brazil has some truth to what she's saying. And Roulette is quick, and she was like, well, what about you the other night with what I just saw with you getting out the truck? And he was just like, hey, you know, whatever. They ended up taking a little drink. He just said, you better be the finesser and not the finesse. And they cheers. Obviously, there's going to be some alliances happening between Roulette and not Uncle Clifford, girl, Big L. A cute little scene of If you can't go to the pink, where the hell can you go? I don't know if they used the actual people who did that, but it would have been cool if they did. Drop down in the comments if y'all know if they actually did use the girl who was really in front of Bella Noche and she couldn't go there. And if you was beefing at that wedding, you should have been beefing at that wedding. Uncle Clifford is on the phone with Mercedes, and Uncle Clifford is pretty much explaining what happened between the beef, you know, the fight in the locker room. And Mercedes is like, well, what do you think? And he was just like, well, Roulette denied it. What's on the TV? Sadie tells Uncle Clifford to turn on the TV, girl. We see Pastor Woodbine, and she has a whole campaign about the casino. And she's like, we're not bringing it to Chuckalisa. Hell to the no, no. And vote now against the casino. And I just thought that was so cute. Pastor Woodbine is a growing character that I'm really enjoying. I hate to admit it, but I really enjoy her. Then Mercedes get a message from Coach and just said, listen, baby girl, I need you to run that Mercedes experience back for me. Sean is at the hair store and she's promoting her Missit lashes, okay? And what's up, my teacups, my sippy cups, or whatever the case may be. You know, meet me down in the Ham, and I'm gonna be at Club Volcano just doing her little promo video for Insta. And just a side note, y'all, the club in Volcano is a real club in Birmingham. Like, if you ever been to Birmingham, you know it's two clubs, the Volcano and the Shake. I think it's called the Shake, I can't remember. But Volcano is a real club, and for real, Lil Murder and them club would be at the latter. It wouldn't be at the Volcano, just saying. Volcano serves nachos and cheese and party wings, and the Shake sell pork chop sandwiches. Y'all know where them niggas will be at. Lil Murder is watching not Sadie's girl, Keyshawn, do her thing, and he like, Wody, when I'm gonna have me some promo? When I'm gonna be da-da-da-da, this, that, and the third. And Lil Murder winks at Wody and he dies. This dramatic death. I think like this whole death thing is like this reoccurring theme. People are dying, and you know, literally, and you know, they highlighted, you know, some civil unrest that was going on during the height of the pandemic. But Keyshawn mentions to Lil Teak like, don't this picture make me look a little strawberry, raspberry, mocha, pecan tan? And he was just like, no, baby, that's just the lighting. And I think that's just a nod to how they like to, you know, lighten us up. The brown skin women, we can never just truly be brown. We gotta be like, oh, she's dark enough or light enough to look like this. Like, girl, no, she's brown skin, and that is a real thing, especially when marketing, even just like with simple thumbnails on YouTube, y'all. Like, if I were to put a thumbnail and, you know, it was a dark skinned girl and a light skinned girl, the same thumbnail, the algorithm would feed you the light skinned girl, period. Like, that's a whole nother video, but y'all know how we give it up over here. But I'm gonna just move on because y'all know, like, act like you know. Act like you know. Girl, that had us in a chokehold. Big Teak and Rome has some serious tension brewing, and I know we're gonna see more of that to come. Haley is at the Pink, and she being haunted by Montavious ass. Out of nowhere comes Corbin. Corbin is like, girl, I'll give you $1 million. She said, well, if you gonna give me $1 million, you just double my offer. I'm holding on to it. We gonna see. Did mention, she was like, where's your lawyer? He was like, oh, my lawyer is in Atlanta. She kind of looked like, oh. Haley is playing hardball. And the next scene, girl, we got Lusty Andre. Lusty Andre is pulling up to his home, and out of nowhere, we just hear some moans. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, girl, I hope this girl is just using her roles. Girl, we go into the bedroom, and Andre sees Daryl, whatever his name is, and the wife was topping him off and doming him, sloppy topping, slap on the knob like corn on the cob. Check in with me, okay, and do your job. Girl, she was getting the job done, and Andre chokes him out. She was like, let him go, Andre, please let him go. Andre was like, and just to think I came here to ask you for permission to run for mayor of Chuckalisa. She just was like, mayor of Chuckalisa, Andre, you won't win. And then she kind of catches herself like, oh shit, I said that. He's like, yeah, oh shit, you really said that to me. You get what I'm saying? And then, girl, it was just kind of sad because Brittany, I was feeling like, damn, this woman, you know, a Lusty Andre. Can we even call him? I mean, he's still Lusty Andre, but like, at least he ain't go all the way. We know that he would have, but circumstances prevented, wouldn't have been no better. But that's how it should be in a relationship. You cheated. No, I ain't really cheat. You would have cheated. Like, girl, it's a mess. He leaves, and the wife is just, she asked out. Then she gonna say, this was funny to me, Andre, where's your mask? And then he was like, where was your mask when he was in his day? Like, for real, where's your mask? And she was like, well, we're both doctors. I know he doesn't have COVID. Like, girl, Girl, Mercedes shows up to the condo, and Farrah is there, and she's getting some photography stuff out of there. And Mercedes shows up and she's ready to go, you know, string bikini with a trench coat, and she's like, Coach, you know, she's ready to go in, and she sees Farrah, they bump into each other. It's obviously awkward, and she was just like, I'm sorry for having a skirt out of there the other day. And she was just like, no, it's cool, you kind of left us high and dry and wet or something. High and wet, I think that's what she said. Yeah, it was awkward for them. And she was like, you know, I've never done that before. Mercedes said she's never done it before, and Mercedes gets on the pole, and oh no, she said, what happened? She was like, oh, I had to go because of my daughter. She shows you a picture of Terica, and she's like, oh, I like that ringtone. Then out of nowhere we hear gazang shit, and then it was her husband. Girl, I'm like, girl, that's telling. She's sick of his ass. He answers the phone. While she answers the phone, Mercedes gets on the pole, and she's doing her 1-2. She's doing her blah 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 blah. I was like, let me take pictures of you. Mercedes just like, nope, you can't do that. That NDA y'all had me sign said no photography, no public appearances, and no da 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 da. And she was just like, you know, the girl still is taking pictures of her, and I'm like, she likes her, she's flirting with her, she really enjoys her. I can kind of see, or I'm foreshadowing, a real alliance between the two women. And if Coach ever think he about to play Mercedes, I think that Farrah is going to stop with Mercedes, because Coach, she lost herself somewhere in that relationship, and Mercedes empowers her. And the next thing, we got Big L delivering some PPE. Child, he came and delivered because Uncle Clifford could not find any sanitizer. Grandma Ernestine is up at the paint, and I'm getting the feeling that Grandma Ernestine is declining. I think we may see that in the future episodes. Diamond returns to the paint. In the car, and we're driving with Keyshawn and them, and they hear DJ Never Scared on the radio, and Gidget calls DJ Never Scared and was like, what, you on the radio, baby? I'm so proud of you, da 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 da, this, that, and the third. DJ Never Scared said, you know, Lil Murda, you know, I need you to send me a track like yesterday. I could have been got you that feature, whatever the case. Wody is like, yeah, but what about the publishing? And, you know, Rome is like, yeah, but, you know, niggas do that all the time. And Teak is on edge and trying to listen to the radio about the whole protests that were happening during that time frame. And the next thing, we have Mercedes and Farrah, and they are taking photos, having a good time. And Farrah says, girl, I wish I knew how to do this. Mercedes tries to show her, and it's getting sexual. It's a lot of sexual tension and chemistry between the two. And she's trying to show her the twerk muscle. She tries to teach her how to twerk, and, you know, they're laughing, they're a little flirty, a little touchy. Farrah hauls off and say, you know, I wanted so bad to hate you, and, you know, I just can't. I end up just hating myself even more. I ended up just hating myself. And Farrah walks off and says, I don't mean to cry. Here I am. I never thought I'd be crying to a stripper. And Mercedes is offended by it. She's like taken aback, because although Mercedes is a stripper, she's developing true feelings and connection with this woman. And she's brought down to the reality of, hey, you still see me through the lens of a stripper. And Farrah noticed that she offended her, and she said, hey, listen, I'm sorry. You know, Coach isn't flying into Memphis, he's flying out, and I called you here because I enjoy your company. He basically says, I never met a woman who could hold her own weight. And Mercedes like, you know, I fall, and I fall a lot, you know, but I get back up, or whatever the case may be. And girl, they have some good old, okay, that's all I'ma do, okay? They have some good old, you know, brown on brown action. Okay, category is ebony. Girl, okay, up. All right, so we're back at the pink, and the girls are talking about Diamond, girl, because Diamond, I heard he was weird. I heard he got sent back because of the war, and this, that, and the third. And Big Bone is just overhearing. Diamond goes into the Paradise Room, and he was about to get tracked down by Montavious the Spirit. Big L comes in and was like, you all right? He was like, yeah, I'm all right. I'm just taking in the scene. Gets up out of there. Mayor Kyle is on the TV at the pink, and says that, you know, it's 8 p.m. curfew. They quickly talk about possibly staying at the pink. Haley is like, no, absolutely not. Some people are for it, some people are leaving. Andre walks in, and Andre pours him a drink, and Clifford says, you look like a man whose wife just cheated on him. He was like, I am. And then, you know, Haley just gives him that look like, oh, okay. That is really touched by Pastor Woodbine's speech on the news, and she's like, I know you want to burn it down, the rage that's deep down inside, but don't tear up my church. And Roulette is just looking. Roulette goes off to the side. She's obviously touched and emotional. Roulette is crying in private, and in comes the white boy, and she's like, I'm just so tired. Y'all always do this to us. The same thing happened to my brother. My brother got hemmed up by 5-0 about 3 years ago, and they said he had a gun, but I know he didn't have no gun on him. And you know, Roulette kind of explains that she's tired, and he was like, what's the white boy? I loved how he didn't say it ain't me. He just said, what's his name? And she said Demethrius, and she kind of smiled because, you know, that's all you can say. That moment was kind of touching because you know, girl, I don't even want to go there, but yeah, not today. Let me move on. That moment was a little triggering and, you know, chilling for me. Diamond and Big L have a discussion. He was just like, hey, I want you back at the pink. He said, I ain't never going back to the pink. He was like, nah, baby, I could use you right here. This is, as long as the pink is here, I'm going to be here. This is prime real estate. And you see the Africans in the back saying, yeah, this could be good for us. Big L got some big plans for the pink himself. And then Big Bone have their exchange, and she just basically saying, I heard it's a lot of talk about you. These girls don't know what to do, but I know what to do with you. And she hops on a bike, and she throws him a helmet and says, you riding, you coming, or you not? And, you know, we're going to see how that turns out, because we haven't seen too much of Big Bone just yet. This is the first time we see her in an authoritative state. Before, she was just a big butt bimbo, but now we're about to see. And he wakes up, and she sees that the woman left her the 10 racks on the nightstand, which she looks saddened by, I'm not gonna lie. And I think it's because she really has genuine feelings for the wife. She sees the group chat to get to the pink, and she hurries up and get herself together to leave. So we're back at the suite with Keyshawn and them, because obviously Beham wasn't a go, and they're having a good time. Rome was like, turn that TV off and let's get some shots, or whatever the case. Murder goes over to Big Teak and was like, turn this TV off, or whatever the case. He said, nigga, go do your homework. And I guess the homework, by homework he meant, you know, sending DJ Never Scared to track. He was like, I hate when you get like this. And that's really like some brotherly love type of situation that you hate, you know, when somebody's in their mind. So Rome turns off the TV and tries to give a toast to Keyshawn, and as they're toasting, Rome comes over and was like, you turned off my TV. Not Rome, but Teak. You turned off my TV. And he was like, I'm sorry, nigga. Is this some sort of gel faux pas that I don't know about? So anyway, he was like, I want to see what's going on, or whatever the case. And Get just like, bro, chill. You're dragging it. You know, it's like, shut up, or whatever the case. And, you know, it was kind of like, shut up, white girl. You don't know what's going on. This, you don't get it, or whatever the case. Rome is kind of like trying to get him out the room. Gidget is still going off. And it was just a weird, awkward situation. Keyshawn was scared. Keyshawn was absolutely scared. She is an abused woman. That's all I can say. It was a really heavy time, and I think that Rome's discussion of what did he do? He had to do something, and that's the thing. Like, that's always the first question is, well, he must have did something to deserve to get. No, he did not. No, he didn't. And even, you know, if you're a police, you're here to, you know, serve and protect. If a person is mentally unstable, it's your job. You sign up to do things to prevent having to take a life, period. And I feel like there was a large faction in the beginning of black people who felt like he must have did something, up until we saw the footage and the second and third. You know, that whole black on black crime is the same as the police type of Clarence Thompson type of Thomas type of white black person. I mean, like I was saying, it was a heavy time. It was a truly heavy time in 2020. Then we have Lil Murder's in the bathroom recording his verse. Teak comes in and used the bathroom, and he was peeing. He was like, damn, you can't you see me? I'm trying to do something. When he was peeing, Murder was looking right at his peeing. I was like, oh, yup, they must have run before. And he was just like, you gonna have to get used to it like you did in a joint, or whatever the case may be. And then he goes up, he tries to smoke or whatever, and he was like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's the matter? And he's just like, man, they don't want a rich nigga, black nigga, blah blah blah, even a president nigga. Like, you know, he was just expressing himself as the frustrations as being a black man in this country, and feeling the way that he was feeling. So the Murder tries to console him with a soft, sweet, sensual forehead kiss, And from there, an actual kiss. And then from there, we have some mask on mask, okay? And I was just like, I knew it. Keyshawn didn't get back to Nashville. She got her in an Uber because, girl, it's getting real. And Rome says, listen, I don't want you afraid. She was like, I wasn't afraid. She was like, yes, you was, baby. And I don't want you to feel like that ever again. You just come to big Romy Rome and let me know what I can do for you. And I'm going to have, I'm going to talk to Wody to fire Big T for scaring you because he's crying. Wody overheard that conversation. Andre and Haley are in the next scene, and Haley is pretty much confiding in him, saying, I'm gonna sell the pink. I was gonna sell it the whole time. Uncle Clifford overheard, was listening, and Mercedes was walking in at the same time. And Mercedes and Uncle Clifford, you know, confronts Haley, and she was just like, you a snake. I can't believe I trusted you, and this, that, and the third. And she was just like, oh, we're all gonna have to move on at some point in time, and y'all can take what y'all want to move the money. It's just a building. And Uncle Clifford was like, it's just a building to you. I should have never trusted you. Mercedes says, Martavius was right. It's easy to love you, and it's gonna be even easier to hate you. And our last clip of the episode, we have a montage. The pink still being closed. Girl, the inspector came in and was like, yup, y'all still closed. Uncle Clifford still not talking to Haley, and Big L passing her the slip or whatever the case may be. Lil Murder opened his eyes. He see the condom on the dresser. As soon as she opened his eyes, we see Big Teak sitting in the girl sitting in the window still talking about something. Who's Clifford? Girl, I know we all been there before. As soon as you open your eyes, it's like, who is such and such? Like, oh my gosh, can I open my eyes? You feel what I'm saying? And he ain't even say, they say, you ain't never write me no postcards. You've been out for a long time. He just gets his bag and walks out. Murder just hit the cigarette like, damn. Tydell left the home to Andre, which comes right on time because he just got into it with his wife. His wife was cheating on him, so now he don't even have to go back to the home. He calls Corbett and says, meet me at the headquarters, okay? And the last scene, we see Big Teak and Hearst just looking at Little Murder, looking all distraught. Little Murder got his head, looking away from him. And Uncle Clifford texts him and was just like, it's funny times that we're living in. I hope you're okay, ain't it? Or something like that. He didn't respond. And then it was a nice, beautiful clip of all the names, so all of the lives that were lost in 2020. And same here, just you gotta give respect and say their names and just honor them in that way. So much happened and so much loss, and so we're gonna leave it right there. Make sure you like this video. Like the video and consider subscribing. It helps you in the YouTube algorithm, and it helps them from getting swallowed up by the big girls on YouTube, period. As always, I'm sending you love and light, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.